This is a true HYFVE customer story. Melanie is a successful businesswoman and a mother, and she owns the One Loved Babe Boutique, one of the trendiest and most successful online boutiques based out of Utah, offering plus sizes and kids clothing as well.
About 6 years ago, I just had my first son. I was really into shopping at the time. I love clothes, always have, and decided to just start a boutique. The name comes from my first son. When I asked my husband what we should call it, he was like, what about One Loved Babe? Because that applies to women, it also applies to your children, it has meaning. So that is where the name came from.
The experience of being a mom gave Melanie a true realization of what was needed to fill in the gap for women of all ages and sizes.
I had just had my baby, had a postpartum body, and I was just really not happy with the selection of clothes that I could find in the market. So my biggest goal with starting the brand was just to make women feel comfortable, no matter what stage they're at in life, what their body type is like. My biggest goal, even from day one, even until now, is just to help women feel comfortable in their body.
Melanie started her business at her own house in 2016. She had a small living room where she settled one rack to start selling her clothes.
I actually started it with $300, but since then it moved into my basement, where it was an unfinished basement that I turned into our warehouse. It was like 1,500 square feet. And at that point, we had employees come to our house until we filled it to the max. And then once we grew out of that space, we moved here, and it's been just like this snowball effect of buying and selling, and now we're to this point. It's been so amazing to just watch it grow. So my biggest goal right now that we have online going pretty steady and well for us, my biggest goal is to start brick and mortar. We obviously have this storefront, but my biggest goal is to open into malls and at least start with one, and the goal is to eventually branch out and have multiple locations.
Melanie helped redefine fashion for her own customer demographics, and her success comes from keeping to follow and introduce new fashion trends to her customers.
It's so interesting because especially lately, it's interesting to go back and look at like the styles I used to buy. I feel like they were all like very basic. The material was always very stretchy, but not very trendy, like something that you could pretty much always wear, but not necessarily super trendy. Now, I would say I focus more on like trendy styles. I feel like that helps keep me apart from other boutiques, as I like to focus on, let's say, like the smiley face trend right now that's going on. I love current trends, so that's something I'm always working on, is just like focusing on the current trends and making sure we're covering that trend really well.
One Loved Babe seems to have a huge online presence. Melanie, can you please share with us a little bit about the importance of social media marketing?
Our brand has a large Instagram following, and that's one thing with having a social media, is you just always have to be willing to like adapt to the new. So a few months ago, when Reels did start to become more viral, I turned to my social media team and I'm like, we have to jump on board. We've got to pump out at least like 3 to 5 to at least start a week. If we don't jump on that trend, we're not going to keep growing. So now, at the beginning it was kind of rough, but now I feel like we've gotten on track with what works for our brand.
Melanie also explains that growing a business isn't all about a one-man show, but it's more of a collaborative progress where different skills, knowledge, and talents have to be delegated, and you will need to hire the right people to take over those jobs.
The main challenges, I would say my very first one was trying to decide how to grow. And I think that's probably what a lot of people, when they're starting a business, is how do I get this to grow? One piece of advice that I received that I love is whenever you're just like overwhelmed with too much work or you're just frustrated, you need to hire. So whenever I'd get super overwhelmed because I was a one-man show doing it all by myself, the second I'd be like, this is too much, I need to stop, I'd be like, it's time to hire. And even to this day, that's something that I focus on, is if any of my team is overwhelmed in their job, they need to let me know, and they're really good at doing that, and then that's a sign we need to hire. Hiring then takes pressure off, and it allows you to think of other ways you can grow. One thing that I really look for, even still to this day, is just happy people. I know that sounds silly, but you can honestly train anyone to do anything, and that's something I stand by. You can train someone how to ship an order, but you cannot change someone's personality. One thing that I really push for at One Loved Babe is just really good, happy, positive vibes. So people love coming to work. Even you can ask all my girls, that is the biggest thing. There's nothing worse than going to work with unhappy people. So whenever I do like the interview process, that's something I really focus on, is personality, and then just kind of narrow it down from there.
According to Melanie, another key to success is knowing what differentiates your business from the others and exploiting this difference to stand out among them.
That's one thing that I love about our brand, and that's one thing I strive for, is really fast shipping. And it's free. So fast and free shipping, most orders that are placed same day go out same day up until about like 2 o'clock. And our customers thrive on that because especially if they're local, they order it and most times it's either there the next day or the day after. Our shipping team is awesome at just getting them out. The process is printing out the order slip, packing it, putting it in the bag, shipping it. The USPS guy comes and picks it up. So it's pretty seamless, but that's one thing that I love about our team is we're very on the ball at being quick with turnaround. Okay, what makes us different and what makes customers want to come to us compared to other places? Something that I like to really push for is just having unique styles. One way that I feel like has helped us is by going to different markets. So maybe not always just going to Magic, but maybe going to the Dallas market. Even though it may be more of a Southern style, I can still find pieces that work for our brand that maybe not all of the Utah market would buy there.
Yeah, fashion trade shows and markets are great destinations for making informed decisions about your business and provide helpful resources to stay in trend.
One thing that we do before every new season to help us decide what to bring in, my husband loves looking into the fashion shows. So he'll look and see like what's trending and then he'll text it to me literally when I'm on my way to a market and be like, okay, this is what's trending. Look for, like, I still remember the year biker shorts were huge and he had texted that to me and he's like, biker shorts are going to be a thing. And I was like, no, they're not. He's like, they are. I'm like, okay. And it's so interesting because whether I like the trend or not, it eventually will grow on me. But it's crazy that just like looking at the fashion shows, they really do portray what will be coming in style.
Now, would you tell us, Melanie, do you consider yourself and your business successful?
Looking at like where we are at now, I would definitely consider us a success. I mean, considering we've started with $300, now it's a multi-million-dollar business, I would definitely consider that a success. The biggest thing I would say we need to improve on is just improving our shopping experience in person. We just have this small little space, but I think we could do so much better and let the whole world know about us. So yeah, that's one area that I definitely think we could improve on. We're getting there and we'll get there, but it takes time.
Last but not least, Melanie wanted to share some of her life lessons and pieces of advice for young entrepreneurs to set the basis for their businesses.
I would just say, if you want it, you put your mind to it and you will get it done. That's kind of how my personality is. Once I knew I wanted to start a boutique, I literally decided on day 1 and by day 30, I had it up. So I feel like motivation is huge when you're opening a business, is you just got to be dedicated and go all in.
Thank you so much for sharing your advice with us, Melanie. That was today's real HYFVE customer success story. Stay tuned and subscribe to our channel for more. Till next time.